I did want to go over kind of what our cost was in case you guys are thinking about going full-time. I know budgets are important. I'm probably gonna have to have you get out. We want to eliminate all the drag and it, you know.
The better of the two options.
And it's $50 a night for a quote resort. Oh boy.
Do we want to try it or do we not? That's the question.
I really don't want to bury my truck on that road.
Tomorrow is travel day. We have just a couple preparations to make today before we hit the road, but right now is a pleasure trip. There's a place that we have shown you guys before. We haven't had a chance to go, and I'm really excited to go.
That brings me to my next point. While Angela's really excited to go do what we're about to do, I wanted to do boat stuff today, but it's cool. The weather's been really nasty, lots of severe weather chances, and we've got about a 20-mile-an-hour sustained wind with 40-mile-an-hour gust, and we know the water's still cold, so we will not be boating today.
So we're gonna do what I wanted to do. Oh, this is a good treat for the morning. We got fresh eggs, we got lettuce, we got spinach, we've got honey. I mean, we're stocked. This is good.
I love coming to Tractor Supply to get my propane. The people are always so friendly, and especially this one down here, they always seem to have really good prices on their propane, and the service is fast. I just got to run in here and pay really quick because this particular location didn't have a card reader. I was going to go by the hardware store and get this, but they had them in stock. So I got me a new 21mm socket to replace the one I broke the other day. Luckily, when Isaac came down, he had some in his truck, and I was able to torque all the lug nuts, but I wanted to torque them one more time. I do have to replace the impact socket that I broke, because I can't use an impact gun with this. But this will at least let me torque my lug nuts. I wanted to give you guys a full rundown of how much propane we used in the winter in our Grand Design 320 MKS. I've got my executive helper here, Eris, who likes to hang out when I'm sitting at the table. So we look at the winter months as December 21st to March 20th or 21st, depending on the year. Obviously, that's the coldest time of year to live full-time in an RV. These things aren't overly well insulated, but I did want to go over kind of what our cost was in case you guys are thinking about going full-time. I know budgets are important, and hopefully this is good information for you. So in that amount of time, we all know everything's getting more expensive, and our average cost to fill a 30-pound tank was $27.96. Now, we hit some really expensive places for propane, particularly at RV parks. So during the winter months, we used 8 30-pound tanks of propane, and that cost us around $224. I don't think that's that bad considering it went from December to March. We would spend that on a natural gas bill at our house in Illinois or Minnesota on a monthly basis, so I don't feel too bad about that cost. During that time, if you were following along, you noticed we were mainly in Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. I tracked the average temperatures every day, so during this period of time, we had an average low of 42 and an average high of 60 for an average overall temp of 52 degrees. During this period of time, we averaged about 12 days on a 30-pound tank. Our most expensive month was January, as you would imagine, where we used a tank about every 3 or 4 days on an average temp of 33 degrees. And if you remember in January, a good chunk of that time was in Fort Worth, Texas, where we had that big freeze and our water pipes froze and stuff like that. So we used a ton of propane in January, but it gets a little better every week removed from January. We like to utilize our electric fireplace and space heaters where we can, but anytime the temps are going to drop below freezing, we always have to run the furnace. And sometimes that's just the quickest way to heat the rig up after travel day. So there you have it, folks. That's what it cost us to keep our RV warm all winter long for full-time RV life. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Kind of give you an idea of what to budget if you're thinking about jumping into this thing full-time. Even if you're going to stay in warm climates, you're still going to deal with cooler temperatures, so you should expect to pay more in the winter. And we'll be sure to circle back up here at the end of the year and let you know what it cost us for the entire year to heat this thing with propane and stay warm and toasty.
Money, money, money. In the meantime, we're gonna eat some fresh eggs, which just taste so different than store-bought eggs.
And bacon that we cooked on the Traeger. Everything's better on the Traeger.
Smoked bacon, some fresh spinach, some strawberries for lunch. Breakfast for lunch.
Breakfast for lunch. That's winning at life.
We'll see you guys on the road tomorrow, headed north. I lied. Technically. We're not on the road. Same day. But we've been out playing, running Old Brown, and we decided we're going to take you guys along with us.
This is our 1986 Yamaha G2 golf cart. If you guys haven't been around for a while and you're new here, we'll show it to you. This is Old Brown. Old Brown didn't always used to have flaky paint. I gave $100 for this golf cart from a guy here in the campground 6 years ago. It was in really bad shape. We made it in better shape, and now 6 years in, she's about time for another refresh. But mechanically, she's sound as a pound. All we've had to do to this thing was put some cheap $8 used wheels and tires on it from a golf cart shop we found.
Zip tie up some wires.
Zip tie up some wires, new carburetor, and last fall we put a new fuel pump in her. So mechanically, we've got less than $100 into this cart for repairs.
And a light bar because the lights don't work and we can't get them out.
Probably have $500 in this cart because I did put a whole bunch of this chrome.
Which was most of it.
A lot of these chrome platings in it, but she still runs like an absolute top. So we downloaded a GPS app. We know it'll run 11 to 12 miles an hour wide open, and we're gonna go see how fast we can get it to go downhill.
This baby's flying at a hopping 11 miles an hour right now.
It's the headwind that slows her down, I'm telling you. In comparison, our white golf cart, which is electric with 4 lead acid 12-volt batteries, it'll do about 24. But I can ride around on this thing all summer long on about 5 gallons of gas. You do the math. It's important to note, this cart is all stock. While I do have a new fuel pump and a new carburetor, it's the stock fuel pump and carburetor. And we're gonna see what it'll do 0 to 12. I'm probably gonna have to have you get out. We wanna eliminate all the drag and you know. I'm gonna lean down real low.
What do you mean drag?
Well, we're setting up straight. It's aerodynamic
calling
drag.
me fat.
No, I'm calling you aerodynamic drag just like I am. Look at that torque.
Woo!
Ready, go. All right, flip it back quick. So
5 or 6 seconds.
5 or 6 seconds to top speed, that's not bad.
They were jealous.
We're stopped, not because we're broke down, because I'm gonna send Ange down to the bottom of that hill down there. And we're gonna see just how fast we can get with downhill momentum. So I figure by the time I get to the crest of this road, I'll be at full throttle. And then I can really hammer down the hill. And it's gonna be just me because I wanna be able to really get down and hug the steering wheel for maximum aerodynamics. 13. 13.
Ever wonder what rednecks do for fun?
15.
I like the way you squall your tires.
So we got up to 15 and I almost got stuck turning around, but it was wet leaves, in fairness. All right, so going up the hill, it'll hold steady 10, 11 miles an hour. I guess there's a governor on it, and downhill it's about 15. Maybe time for a refresh though.
You're rolling.
The brakes aren't holding real great. They're sufficient.
Can you carry me up that hill, please?
Yeah, I'll take you up the hill. Let's go.
Oh, wrong way.
Like I said, the brakes aren't holding. Camera 2.
Oh.
They see me rolling, they hating.
think I need to drive.
Drive it like you stole it, baby. 14, 15, 16.
Was it my extra weight pulling it down the hill?
Uphill though. 10, 9. In 2 years, this thing's gonna be 40 years old. I'm impressed. Good job, Yamaha.
Okay, now we'll see you tomorrow. After a week of work, we're on the road again, headed north toward Byron, Illinois, which is northern Illinois. We're on our path to keep going north, head over into the Dakotas, and start coming down. That's the plan.
For now, until we change it.
We almost forgot our routine, which is as soon as we get in the car, ready to rock and roll, we do a kiss for good luck. We're really not superstitious, but it's something that we started early on and we've continued. And the one time that we forgot, we had a kind of a rough travel day, so we're like, well, let's just not deviate.
Let's not tempt fate. Just in case superstitions are real.
But we did meet a couple in Coleman, Alabama that told us that every time that they get on the road, they have a song that they play. Same song, it's their travel song that gets their travel day started. What kind of routine do you have on travel days? I'm interested to see all the different ones.
We've got a decent run, about 4 hours, 225 miles. It's a lot of wind today, but other than that, should be smooth sailing.
I brought sandwiches for our food today,
Nice.
but the buns I have are moldy.
Then why'd you even tell me we had sandwiches? Just leave that part out.
I'm disappointed. I
disappointed.
I bought it too soon, I guess, but
We never buy bread. The one time we buy bread, we can't eat it.
the good news is that I brought salami.
Nice.
How long's it been since we've had salami?
It's been a minute since we've had salami, but if you're gonna eat meat by itself, that's a good one.
Not only is it good, it's good for you.
Oh, I'm sure it's just, nourishment like you wouldn't believe. I'm not gonna think about that though, I'm just gonna eat it.
We're gonna do roll-ups, how about that?
That'll work. Do you need a stage 3 napkin?
You have one?
Yeah. All right, so we have made it to our destination. There's no one here to check us in. We ended up down where we shouldn't be to figure out that that's where the permanent campers park. So we were redirected to this area. Now this is a resort. I'm about to have to put in 4-wheel drive, I think. The sites don't even have gravel on them.
This is the second former Yogi Bear that we've been to that's been like very confusing.
Yeah.
No one on site, and
Yeah, this is just absolutely crazy.
even the map and the signage was terrible.
As much as it's rained, I don't necessarily want to just go parking in here or go driving around in the grass. So we're going to call an audible and we're going to drive this right back to the highway and we're going to go make plan B because we're going to get stuck if we go diving out in there.
Let me go walk down that road and see. The ground is actually pretty solid. The road, not so much. The road's kind of a mud pit. But the ground, there's no standing water. It's pretty solid. And so all your hookups are on the back. There's no sewer here.
What do you want to do?
Well, seeing as there's only 2 options here, we either have to keep driving up the road or this was the better of the 2 options.
And it's $50 a night for a quote resort.
I know what this is. Do we want to try it or do we not? That's the question.
I really don't want to bury my truck on that road. I mean, I'll try it. We can call the tow truck. I mean, it'd be cheaper just to let them have our $400 than to have a wrecker come out here and bail me out.
Do you want to walk it and see?
No. If you think it's good, I guess we'll just try it.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm telling you your options. We're going to try it. You may see a domestic going on here in a second. Hope all these people are out watching. ground was solid enough to lift it, but it's pretty soft and it's supposed to rain some more, so we're concerned that we're going to get in a situation where we can't get out of. So we're going to try putting, we don't have many leveling blocks, but try maybe space out the surface area.
The concern on my side is that the trailer is going to completely sink, but there's more rain coming, and I'm worried if it rains a whole bunch and the trailer sinks down, I may not be able to get it up high enough to get the truck under it, and I really don't want to have to call a wrecker to help me, so I'm going to put these down just as one more, I guess, safeguard to keep that from happening, but we'll see what this does. I'm worried about what happens when those back jacks go down.
It's starting to rain. It's supposed to rain all night, all morning, and then again in a few days for a couple days. So there's definitely a concern here. We haven't even been able to check in yet and talk to them. So we've got to figure something out.
Yeah.
The plans that we had for tonight, the reason why we got around kind of early, trying to hurry up and get here, we're way past that. So our plans are shot. We have concerns about the weather. I think we're going to try to at least wait it out tonight and see, because it's supposed to get windy and sunny tomorrow. It's supposed to also rain a little bit. So I think we're going to take a peek at it tomorrow. He's dealing with his frustration his own way. I'm going to finish getting the inside set up, go throw away my moldy buns, and settle in for the night.
Heading out to run some errands here this evening before we shut it down for the night, and we swung by the bathhouse because Ange wanted to check out the laundry facilities. We didn't do laundry last week because we didn't have one really all that close to us, so we've got a lot of laundry. And she came out with this look on her face, and she didn't want to say anything, but she told me I need to go check it out for myself, and I thought it was only fair for me to take you guys along. Oh boy. I think it leaks. Whew. Well, that washer's got leaves in it. This is the second time we've been to a campground that used to be a Yogi Bear campground that's not a Yogi Bear campground anymore. They still use the resort name and they still charge resort prices, but word to the wise, be very leery if you run onto a campground that used to be a Yogi Bear, because it's a good chance that its best days are behind it. But we're gonna make the best of it this week with you guys tagging along.
I just kind of hate crapping all over somebody's stuff, because there are some nice, like this is really nice for the kids, big open space. I just get frustrated when they don't. The people were so nice when I talked to them. So nice, so friendly and helpful. And while I'm saying that, if you have a campground that has a check-in time that's kind of late compared to other check-ins, I had to learn this the hard way. When it's 3 and 4 p.m. check-ins, a lot of times you can call them, or your confirmation will have something different, like it's a window of time. Like you can check in from this time to this time. Or if you call them ahead, like this one was I believe a 3 p.m. check-in. And I'm like, man, I hate to land that late, because we really wanted to get here and do some stuff, which that kind of fell through. And she was super friendly and said, honey, it's early in the season. You're totally good to come in. I'm just a little frustrated with the signage, and I don't know.
Well, luckily somebody helped us out, because we went down and there's a fork and there's 2 dead-end roads, and we're sitting here going, well, there's some RVs up here and some RVs over here, but everything looks like this is a place where people live year-round, which is cool, but you should market it that way. You know, you get here and it really looks like you should drive down by the lake. Anyway, we ran into a guy that was a resident there, and he's like, yeah, all the short-term people are up the hill, and we were able to figure it out. But
he was really helpful. I'll show you what we saw. This is what we saw.
So the office is right straight ahead down by that white truck.
So you would assume that and the sign for the map and everything is down there as well. There's no signs here to tell you that that's where you need to turn.
And
please check in at the office, which is
down
that
there.
way.
And that's where we went, and there was no one at the office and no hours of operation on the sign. So we kept going straight, thinking we saw the couple of sites up by the office were like in the 200s, and we thought, okay, we'll find ours on down the way a little bit. Not the case. So it's not the end of the world. It's not about the campground. It's about what you do. But
right, sometimes
you're going to get disappointed. We're going to have some fun here, enjoy our week, and we're going to hope the next campground's not a dud.
So we'll quit complaining.
That's the end of our complaints. We are not the campground review channel because sometimes we would probably be too honest.
It's all right. We're still excited to see what this week brings. In the meantime, we're gonna eat some fresh eggs, some smoked bacon.
Do you have a mic on?
Nope. We'll see you guys on the road tomorrow, headed north. Oh my goodness. My buns are moldy, kind of sounds gross, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could say I'm not gonna say.
6 seconds.
We gotta redo it. Your reaction was a little slow there.
Is it illegal to dumpster dive?
We looked this up once before. Most states it is, depending on who owns the dumpster and where it's placed.
Okay.
Why did you get that salami out of a dumpster? What are we worried about? Because I already ate some, so I kind of like to know.
The buns may have come out of a dumpster.
If I need to stop on the side of the road and purge, I mean, I know times is tough, but they're not that tough. I balance the checkbook. They're not that tough. We can buy food.
Oh, that hurts. No, I did have a reason for asking.
Do tell. Is there a mom joke behind this, or?
No, it was a serious question.
Okay. Well, go ahead and let me know why. I'm dying to hear what the reasoning was for that question.
I was going to say this little lunchbox was a freebie. It's been really good.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure if this was something that I wanted to admit on camera, because if it was illegal.
Well, let's leave names and locations out.
I don't want to put it online. But we were working a job and there was a business next to us going out of business. And they were dumping brand new stuff, like in plastic wrap, like cases of stuff. I'm talking blenders, health protein bars, like
That were not expired.
they weren't expired. Like good stuff, really good stuff. And they threw an entire dumpster full of stuff into the dumpster. And the dumpster was clean because it had never been used.
They literally dropped the dumpster in the morning and it was full by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, they had the dumpster dropped. And so we just jumped in there and started chucking it back out. The blender we have is still going strong. Man, I love free stuff. But no, the food came from the grocery store. It did not come from the dumpster.
Okay. But it's in a lunchbox that came out of a dumpster.
The lunchbox did come out of a dumpster.
Well, I knew that.
It was in a package.
It was sealed.
It was sealed. Anyways.
I can't believe you just admitted that.
Yeah, we may end up cutting that.